Hey everybody, well, I haven't done a grocery haul in a while, so I thought I should do one. I have something I'm gonna make for dinner tonight that maybe I'll try to film. We had a week or so ago and it was really good, and it's something we kind of just come up with on a whim, you know? So let's see. I was kind of surprised to see strawberries were still on sale because I thought, you know, we're starting to get out of the season a little bit for fruit, but I decided to get those because they looked really good. Mushrooms, because that is something I'm gonna make with a pizza. Blueberries, I've been eating blueberries pretty much all summer long on my oatmeal. Usually in the wintertime I do raisins, but when these are in season I try to do those. Needed some salad, so I usually always have arugula and baby spring mix. I still have arugula, so I just needed this. And then cranberries, these are from, you know, the deli, the organic cranberries. I've just found these last longer and they just taste better than the craisins in a bag. They're a little bit like plumper, and I like putting these in salads and different things, and then that wrap that I had shown at one point. So I needed some of those. A red onion, that's for the pizza as well. This is a veggie pizza. Yellow pepper, I always have these on hand because I like to put these in salad. And so I needed a yellow squash and green squash for the pizza. The gluten-free oatmeal. I said before, I don't have to be gluten-free, but if I like something that's gluten-free, then I get that. And I actually like this just for the texture of it. And backup of the crackers I usually get here. And then I always have this on hand, and sometimes I actually put this in my oatmeal, just like a tiny bit, just like a tiny little palmful of, for some added extra texture. I know that's kind of weird putting grains already in oatmeal, but it gives it a little bit different flavor. So this is the one I usually get, and then for something else, probably not in oatmeal, but just a snack on, I decided to get the almond butter one. And I like these because they're very low in sugar. So I also got a green pepper, peanut butter, some Kalamata olives, we were running low. This is things we always have on hand. Black beans, because we actually made black bean and sweet potato soft tacos last week, and they were so good. And I thought, you know what, that's something maybe I want to keep on hand now when we don't know what we want for dinner, because we have totally been in a rut where we don't know what we want. Needed a backup of garlic salt. This is the kind I use quite a bit. And then some pears. Love this kind. Avocados, my husband wanted some plums. I had to get stocked up on all my frozen veggies. We had gotten, and see, this is what I'm bad about. This is why I always keep frozen veggies on hand, because we had actually gotten fresh green beans, you know, about a month or so ago, and then we ended up not making them, and they almost went bad. They sat in the refrigerator, so I'm really bad about that. I'll buy frozen or fresh veggies and stuff in the summer, but then I might not want to make it for a while or whatever, and then, you know, it goes bad, because we definitely go through those stages of, you know, nothing sounds good, we don't know what we want. So I needed green beans, and I needed, so I got 2 things of green beans, I got 2 things of broccoli, they are over there somewhere, some brown rice, and then this. We don't have this one too often, this protein blend, but it's really good to have like with fish or something. And then these sweet potatoes. Now I actually had, you know, fresh regular sweet potatoes the other day, and I'd cut them up and put them in the oven. But I had seen at Kroger had these roasted sweet potatoes, and this is actually what I used for the tacos. And I cut them up a little bit smaller because they're pretty big chunks in this. But again, this is something great to have just in the freezer when you don't know when you're ever gonna use the actual sweet potatoes. So needed some cheese for the pizza, and I like these little ones here. It's Parmesan cheese, turkey bacon, these little ice cream bars. We try not to eat these that much because they are pretty high in sugar, but they're dairy free. Needed 2 things of pretzels. Well, I didn't need 2, I had a coupon for 2, and these are the ones we get. And pop chips. And just talking about pop chips, a lot of you have asked me, like, you know, things I've done to lose weight and all that, and this is just one small little switch out. I love chips, but I gave up regular chips. I hardly ever buy them. But this is something, you know, when I have a sandwich or I just want something crunchy, I'll just have a handful of these. And these are actually something that I don't feel the need to eat a ton of. They're just not those kind of chips, but they still satisfy like regular chips. So I always have these. And then I got the little small naan breads. I've actually had the long ones you guys have seen me make a pizza on before, but the last few times we've used these individual ones. And what I started doing this last time was, you know, those pre-made veggie things you get like over by the skewers or whatever. They're already chopped up, a whole bunch of like peppers, squash, mushrooms. Well, we just on a whim decided to get that. We grilled them and then just piled each of them on these and made a pizza out of it. So that gave me the idea to do it again, but they actually didn't have the pre-made ones. I might have gotten those at Publix where they had a little bit better selection. So that's where I just decided to, you know, use the same ingredients and just make my own. So I will show that to you if we end up doing it, because it was just a really good, you know, it's like you get your pizza craving in, but then you had this, it was just full of absolute like awesome veggies. It was great. So anyway, that is our little grocery haul for this week, and I appreciate you guys watching, and so I'm cutting up some veggies here for the veggie pizza, and I'll show you when they're grilling and everything. And basically just what I've done so far. You can use any kind of pepper you want. I bought green, but I actually noticed my red pepper was going bad. So I chopped up a red pepper, this yellow squash, and basically I'm gonna cut up the zucchini. And what I did with the yellow squash in here, I'll just like cut it in quarters. And this all looks like a lot, and it probably will be too much, but I'm gonna grill everything and I can just keep the leftovers to have as a side or put on a salad or something. So I have my mushrooms here. I'm gonna cut up some red onion in chunks so they're easier to grill, even though we do put them on a grill pan. And then just some olive oil, and basically I use garlic salt and a little bit of the steak seasoning. Not a lot, because I feel like this is pretty strong since it's so coarse. And I'll show you what that looks like. And then of course the little individual non-pizzas. Done is put all the veggies in here, and as you can see this is a lot. And again, it will make extra. This is probably twice as much as that pre-packaged one I had talked about before that I got from the grocery. And again, those are easy if you want to get those, especially if you want something quick and not have to take time chopping everything. They just didn't have one at the grocery I was at, or I would have done it again. So again, everything's just in here, and you know, it's great. Like I said, then you have some leftover veggies, which we love, grilled veggies. So I got the naan out here, and what I do is just drizzle some olive oil on here, and I'll put these in the oven for like, say 5 minutes, you know, just to make sure they're not gonna be like soggy when you put the veggies on. And then we'll grill the veggies outside on the grill. And this doesn't take hardly any time, especially if you buy the veggies already chopped up. And I'll show you everything, you know, as we're going. All right, so we are grilling the veggies, and again, this is a ton. Last time, this is a little bit smaller grill pan. This was all we had for 2 pizzas. I don't think the other one had mushrooms, and I think that kind of doubled it. And again, when you buy it, you know, pre-packaged, you're just using what's there. So we have lots of extras, but also, like I said, this is great because you can make like a burrito bowl out of some extra veggies, add some black beans and rice or something. You can never have too many grilled veggies. So this is what they look like, give them a quick toss, and you know, they go pretty quick. So again, like I said, this is a like quick meal too. All right, so I just pulled the naans out of the oven. They've been in there for 5 minutes, and I always do that with most of our pizzas. If you watched any of my other What's for Dinner videos, I kind of do these all the same way. These just happen to be with veggies and no sauce. So what I'm gonna do now is take some grated Parmesan, and I basically, again, after the olive oil, the initial in the oven, I just sprinkle this kind of on lightly. So our veggies just came off the grill. I mean, look how good they look. This is what I have left over, which I was surprised I didn't even have more. But again, I pile up the veggies on here, but they were piled up before when we used the pre-packaged veggies. Was take, remember my little mozzarella pearls, which I like this because this type of pizza doesn't need to be covered in cheese. I've made this also with like a prosciutto and peach, which is great in the summer when peaches are in season, and it was awesome. We had that like a month or so ago. I'm gonna pop this in the oven. Basically, all you wanna do at this point is melt the cheese, so you need to keep an eye on it. All right, so here they are out of the oven. They needed basically about 5 minutes, but that's gonna depend on your oven, so you wanna watch it. Again, we're just melting the cheese at this point. So just to recap, I put the naans in there with a little drizzle of olive oil for 5 minutes, kind of to almost like pre-bake them. And you know, you can decide if you want that or not. It basically depends on how crispy you like your crust. We grilled the veggies on the grill, drizzled them with some olive oil and some garlic salt and a little bit of steak seasoning, not a ton. And then after they were grilled, just distribute them. You know, we like them a lot, so we piled them on there pretty high. Put them back in the oven just to melt a little bit of mozzarella cheese. And there you have it. We'll cut them up and we'll each probably eat the whole thing, if not almost all of it anyway. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was really easy veggie pizza kind of recipe. I say recipe loosely because if you guys have watched any of my other videos, you guys know I really don't follow recipes. That's why it's hard for me to kind of recreate or tell you things. But if you guys try this, definitely let me know. I hope you guys enjoy it, and thanks so much for watching.